Okay, so now that instructional code will be transferred to the IR pointer. Okay, so I already told you what is meant by IR. So IR is used to store the instructional codes. Okay, so after that the instructional code will be reached to the instructional register, no, so then only the ALU pointer, so that it means arithmetic logic unit will got the instructional code. Okay, so now the fetching of operation is over here. Okay, so now coming to the data, so we'll know already MER is nothing but it consists of the address only. The address will be transferred to like this here. But coming to the data, so that means where is our data here? So the data will be present in the memory location, right? So that data will be present in memory location, or maybe it will be present in particular register, that may be as or not. Okay, so already I told here, so the data will be present in particular register, that register will be represented by here or not. So then the processor needs to get the data from the memory location. Okay, so before going to collect the data from the memory pointer, so first the processor needs to send that address of the data with the help of MER pointer. Okay, so before going to collect the data from the MDR register or from the MER from the memory, first the processor needs to send that address of the data with the help of MER register. Okay, so from this MER register the address is transferred to the memory location. Okay, so once the address is transferred to the memory location, no, at that time the control unit will raise the signal here. So that means you can transfer that means MER needs to send that address, means compulsory the control unit will be activated here. Okay, so whenever it will be transfer the data, so compulsory transfer the address, compulsory the control unit will be activated. Okay, so once it will be activated, no, so the data will be, or the address will be sent to the memory pointer. Okay, so in that case the processor will got the data from the memory location. After that the ALU will be collect the data from the R0 register. Okay, so after that, so once the data will be collected from the MDR register to the ALU pointer, no, so then only the ALU will be perform the addition operation. Okay, so already I told in the functional units of computer, so ALU will do the only arithmetic and logical operation. So here we want to do the addition operation, no, so that addition operation will be performed by the ALU unit. Okay, so after performing the addition operation on the data, so the output will be transferred to the particular register. That register may be as R0 or maybe R1, so up to so on. Okay, so the processor will be that means the operation will be performed here like this. So what is meant by here? First, how the operation is performed here first. So the program counter will be initialize the address. Okay, so after that address will be transferred to the MER register. Okay, so once the MER register will consist the address, so that address will be transferred to the memory pointer here. Okay, so that means before going to transfer the address to the memory, compulsory the control unit will be activated. Okay, so whenever the PC is initialize the address of the data, no, so that address will be once initialized to the memory address register, so that address will be transferred to the memory pointer, means compulsory we need to raise the control signal. That means we need to activate of the control unit. Okay, so once the control unit will raise the signal, no, then only the MER register will transfer the address to the memory pointer. Okay, so after that the memory will be transfer that address into the MDR register. So that means here the address is not transferred here, only the data will be transferred to the MDR pointer. Okay, so here PC is initialized which address, ma? So add of instruction of the, that means add will be consist of some address, no? So here already I imagine that is 2000H. So this 2000H will be transferred to the MER pointer and the data will be transferred to the MER pointer. Okay, address and the data is nothing but here we can call it as instructional code. Okay, So address as well as instructional code will be transferred to the MAR pointer first through the help of PC. So once the MAR needs to transfer these information to the memory, means compulsory the control unit will be raised. Okay, so whenever the control unit will be activated, then MAR will be transfer the address and instruction code to the memory. Okay, so here address will be as it is placed in the memory pointer, but whatever the instructional code we are having here, so that instructional code will be transferred to the next pointer, that is MDR register. That means instructional code is our data here, so that data will be transferred to the MDR pointer. Okay, so MDR what it will do, so then it will be consisting of the data only, right? So then the MDR pointer, that means memory data register, will be transfer the data to the instructional register. Okay, so here instructional register what it will do, here instructional code will be having, no, so that instructional code will be transferred to the instructional register. So then what it will do, it will be used as for storing that information only. So that means here instructional code will be holded, that means it will be stored. Okay, but in the memory pointer what it will having, only it consisting of the address of the data, right? So then now coming to that data point, so where is our data here, that data is in present in memory location or maybe in particular register, right? So in that case first the processor will needs the data. Okay, so the processor needs to get the data from the memory location. Okay, so after that the processor will send the address of the data to the MAR register. So first this address will be transferred to the processor, so then only the processor got the information, no, so that processor again will be transfer that information to the again address register, because MAR only consisting of the address pointer, so then only the address again will be reached to the MAR register. Okay, so from this MAR register the address is transferred to the memory pointer, so again the control unit will be issues that signal. So that means the cycling will be repeated here, the process will be repeated. Okay, so whenever the processor got the information from the memory location, no, so then only the ALU will be activated. So which operation if it will do means, just identify the what it will having, so just identify that instructional code what it will be consist instructional code, just identified. So whether it may be add or maybe it may be consist of moving operation or maybe loading operation, just it will be identified and verifying that operation. So then only it will be do the final operation. So that means here the instructional code is what, add. So the memory location will be send that address to the processor, no, the processor will got the information, then it will be send it to the ALU unit. So ALU will check that which operation it will be do. So that means which operation we want to do means ALU will check that, so that depends on that instruction it will do that operation. So here we'll have the instruction is add, no, so compulsory it will be performing the addition operation. Okay, so depends on the data it will be performing the addition operation. So finally we'll get the result now, that output will be stored in particular register. So in that register we are having n number of registers, any one of register will consist of that information. Okay, so this is the operation is performed, that means the operation is performed in between processor and main memory. Okay, so this is the complete explanation about the basic operational concept.